Hey guys, Kyle here. So I'm going to show you this next project I'm going to start working on. I've actually started working on it a little bit, but not too much. And I started working on it a couple months ago before I started even making videos. So we're only a little bit done on it, so I'm going to go ahead and video the rest of the process. So what are we working on here? Well, I had been wanting to make a 10 or 12 inch disc sander. DIY disc sander. I've seen lots of plans online. All you really needed was a motor, and then you could make the rest out of wood. Make a little platform, make your disc. And I was telling a friend of mine that he had a friend of mine who also does woodworking. He's been doing it for a lot longer than I have, and he has a whole bunch of more stuff in his garage than I do. Very jealous, but he's accumulated a lot of stuff that he doesn't want over the years. So occasionally when he cleans out his garage, he gives me a call and says, "Hey, I'm going to get rid of some stuff. We're going to donate it. You want to come check it out, and you can take whatever you want." Well, one of the times I told him, "Hey, if you ever find some old motors, a half or 3/4 or 1 horsepower motor, give me one or two, because I've got a couple projects I might want to use with them." One of them being this disc sander. So I did happen to get a combination belt and disc sander that I got for Craigslist, and I have been using it. It's a 6-inch disc, but I wanted a 10 or 12 inch disc sander. So he was cleaning out his garage and found this old thing, which this is a old, I don't really know, I guess it's just an old little mini table saw. It had a little 4, 5, and 6, one of those, I can't even remember because we got rid of the blade, but it had a little blade in it. As you can see, it's got this little cast iron table. It's a, what is it? A Dunlap tool, or it's a Sears, I believe. Sears Roebuck. So yeah, Sears Roebuck, all cast iron, heavy. It had this third horsepower motor on it. So we decided we're going to take this, what is this, a 3/4 horsepower motor on it, and maybe we can use this as a disc sander, because it's already got a plate, it's already got a little miter gauge, it's already got T-track slots on the top, and it's belt driven to this motor. So we thought, okay, we just put a disc in here and we'll figure it out. So the first thing we did is, okay, let's see if you can see this. So we took this whole thing apart, haven't really cleaned it yet. I don't know, okay. So we took all the internals out, cleaned it out a little bit. So this is the cast iron tabletop. The first thing we decided to do is we need to cut this hole bigger. We used a grinder to do that. My friend cut himself with the grinder because it didn't have a guard on it, and it was as it was powering down, it kind of nicked him, and he had to go to the emergency room and get some stitches. He's okay, but lesson, wear deeper gloves, and make sure you know what your tools are doing when they're winding down. So we had to decide what we were going to use for the disc, because you need a plate to put the disc on, the sanding paper. And he found this, which is a 10-inch, yes, a 10-inch plate for disc sanders. He just happened to have this laying around too that he's going to get rid of. So we're like, great, let's combine this little mini table saw with this, and then all we really have to do is switch out the motors, put this in, and we'll have a little disc sander. So that's kind of where we're at. As you can see, we kind of started to try to do this, and we didn't cut this hole big enough. We're gonna have to cut this hole a little bit bigger. We have to switch out the pulleys on the motors, because this pulley, the original pulley on the 1/3 horsepower, we need to put on this 3/4 horsepower motor, and then we're gonna have to make some kind of mount, either on hinges or something that we can mount the motor to, and have this all be one movable workpiece. It's gonna be heavy. This is already pretty heavy. It's cast iron. This thing right here spins this, which lowers and raises the table, the cast iron table. Not really sure what this does, maybe just the angle, but should be a fun project. I've never really taken apart old tools before. I know my buddy has experience refurbishing old tools. I've never been into that, just never gotten around to it, but it's something I'm interested in. So I'm going to go ahead and start filming this. I'm going to meet with him, and I think we're going to clean up some of this stuff and make this hole bigger and switch out the pulleys on these motors. We're going to try to get all that done, and from there we're going to have to build an enclosure for this whole thing. So probably this video will be in multiple parts. So this will probably be part 1, even though I didn't film the first part, but this will be part 1. I'll probably split up in 2 or 3 parts. Also, this is the first video I'm making with my new camcorder. I made a Google Plus post. I was using my phone to film all my woodworking videos, but it just wasn't working out, and I don't know if it's the southern heat, but my phone wasn't doing a good job. It was overheating, and plus it uses all my batteries to film. So I bought a little action style GoPro. It's a wide angle lens, so I don't know if that looks things weird being a wide angle lens, but the camera's small, about this big, so it should be cool, interesting being able to get it in there and get some shots. It has a little one of those waterproof enclosures so it can go underwater. Not that I'm going to be woodworking underwater or anything, but I'll be more adventurous in sticking the camera right up to the blade or get some cool shots as opposed to sticking my whatever $400 phone right up next to a saw blade, which I'm not inclined to do. So hope you guys enjoy the process. Give me any feedback on any of this stuff, or if you have any tips, because this is all a new process to me, and hope you enjoy it. See ya. Hey guys, Kyle here. I worked on this a little bit. Like I showed you, I worked at a friend's shop, so I wasn't able to get any video, but I wanted to give you a quick update on what we did to it and what I have left. So as I showed in the previous video, this was a mini, I believe 6-inch table saw, little cast iron Sears Roebuck 6-inch table saw, and a buddy of mine thought this would be a good idea to use as a disc sander. So we did get to work on this a little bit. We pretty much got all the metal working done on it. I'm not a big metal worker. I don't have much metal working tools, grinders or anything like that, and he did. So we kind of did all this at his shop, and then all the wood stuff will be done at my shop. So what you can see here, this is a 10-inch sanding disc. It's meant to attach a sanding disc to, and pretty much, if you can see, what we did was we finished cutting out the bigger holes right here. We had to cut out a bigger hole so that the 10-inch disc would fit in. We also had to cut out, you can see on the side, we had to cut out notches so this would fit in, because obviously this wasn't meant to fit a 10-inch disc in, and we had to cut it at an angle like that so we could actually get the disc to fit in here. I do need to get a spacer for the middle of this disc. I believe it's a 5/8 to 1.5 reducer I need to get. So we've got the disc to spin pretty good. So this will pretty much be how it's set up. I'll probably put a plate in right here, and there'll be this much area to sand. It would be nice if I could get a little bit more, but at that point I'd be ditching this whole cast iron top, and at that point, what's the point of using this thing at all? I'd just be using the motor. So I wanted to keep this cast iron top, but still a decent amount of sanding area, and for free, which really I'm not putting any money into this project. It will just, I do have to get one of those reducers, and that's in a pulley, and that's pretty much it. So the back here. So this was a pulley originally on that the 1/3 horsepower motor. We put the big pulley on here so that it wouldn't spin as fast. We don't need it to spin as fast. We tested it out like this, and it spins pretty good. We had to cut out a notch right here for the pulley, because with the pulley down here, the cast iron table would have been up so high you wouldn't have had any sanding space. So we cut out a notch right here, and so the pulley is going to be right here. And then other than that, this is the motor we're going to use. It's a 1/2 horsepower motor, so we're going from a 3/4 or a 1/3 horsepower motor. This is a 1/2 horsepower 1725 RPM. So we tested it out. It should work pretty good. So really what's left is I'm going to probably make a platform for probably a 3/4 inch plywood platform for this to sit on. That's going to be bolted to. This is probably going to go on top of it. I haven't really decided if this is going to sit on top of it or to the left or the right of it. I'm going to draw out some sketches, but it's pretty much going to be this sort of design. The pulley's going to, it's probably going to have to go under it, because I didn't leave really space for this for it to go to the left or right. So this is going to sit on top of this. The pulley's going to go in the back, and then I'll build some sort of box. Maybe, since this is hollow underneath, I could probably build in some sort of dust collection if I want. I may not even worry about the dust collection. I might try. We'll see. So that's pretty much it. This is a work in progress. This is kind of one of my side projects. I've got a bunch of other stuff going on, and we are moving soon, so I don't know if I'm going to get this done before we move. If I have some free time in the next month or so, I'd like to work on this, but I kind of find it highly unlikely that I'm going to be able to finish it. So don't be surprised if you don't see an update to this video for a couple months. And stay tuned. I think this should be a fun little project. This will be nice to have in the garage. And worst case scenario is I build it, use it for a little bit, and I sell it to somebody else. So, see you later.